Welcome to Racing to Win. A huge day coming up at Sha Tin on Sunday with 11 races. Welcome to Racing to Win. We're going to focus on a couple of those 11 races and also a very special guest about to join us from the UK. Before we get to him, the boys are here, Paul Alley and Tom Wood. And Tom, there's a lot of horses running on Sunday.
There are, Mark. There's 11 races coming up and there's 19 on the debut, so plenty of trials and replays to look through for the meeting on Sunday. Main event comes up as race number 8 on the program, and Raging Blizzard stepping into Class 2 for the first time.
That's a very good field. That one, as you'd expect, being a Class 2. What about some jackpots for us, Paul?
There's one. It's the first double trio, so 700,000 will go into the first double trio, should get over the 3 million mark. That kicks off races 2 and 3 is the first double trio. Of course, we start with the Griffin race, first one of the season. 2
weeks from Sunday, things get even bigger than the 11 races this week. It is FWD Champions Day, 3 Group 1 races. There's horses from all over the world joining us to take on our local superstars. That is the 28th of April, Tom, and the selected runners for all of the races were announced earlier in the week, and we start with the FWD QE2. It's Romantic Warrior taking on Massive Sovereign, Dubai Honour and Ishiguazu. Northbridge and Prognosis also join us.
Yeah, plenty of names that we're familiar there with. Ishiguazu, we're good to see Dubai Honour back here as well. Prognosis, looking forward to seeing what Prognosis can do this time round again in Hong Kong.
On to the mile now, Paul, and Champions Mile. Champions looking to make it 4 Champions Miles. He's at the very top of the ratings at his Golden 60.
Yeah, great to see him back as well. One thing about this race, he doesn't look too much speed on. Voyage Bubble might have to go back to his usual way of leading because he looks like the only sort of leader in the race. The Japanese horses get back, and Brave Emperor, of the British horse, he does go forward.
Yeah, of course, Beauty Joy won the lead up the other week. Voyage Bubble had a little sort of setback in Dubai as well, with the horse coming down in front of him, picked up a few bumps and scratches, but everything reportedly A-OK with him.
And Galaxy Patch, placed in the Derby, comes back to 1,600 metres, and this has had some twists and turns, this one. Tom, California Spangle had gone from the crossroads to being in terrific form. Victor the winner, lucky with you, and of course, no Lucky Swayness.
Yeah, well, that means California Spangle has to be the horse you'd think everyone has to beat there. Mad Cool's been here before, believing, interested to see what she's able to produce here. And they sat a lot handier, Paul, recently with Invincible Sage.
He did. He went forward, didn't he? So, and it worked. So I think they'll probably try and do that again. And Victor the winner, he's going to go straight to the front, isn't he? And then try and catch me if he can.
The locals joined by 3 internationals in the Chairman's Sprint Prize this year. And delighted to say one of the trainers of those internationals joining us right now on Racing to Win, Believing coming to town. Her trainer, George Boughey, joins us. George, welcome to Racing to Win.
Thanks for having me on. Looking forward to it.
The decision to bring Believing to Hong Kong, how long has this been in the process, and when did the idea sort of enter your mind that this would be a good race to target?
It's been in the mind for probably a few months now. There was a chance that she was going to go to Dubai for the Al Quoz, but she's a filly, I think, who possibly is better round a bend. A couple of her stakes wins have been round a bend, and there's very few options to run at the highest level round a bend in England. So Hong Kong and the Breeders' Cup at the end of the year are very much on the agenda.
We're going to have a look at the British Champions Sprint Stakes that she won shortly. You yourself came out to have a look at what it's like in Hong Kong. Did that really convince you that this was the place to bring her?
Yeah, I think so. Look, she's a filly who I think you probably see on the tape here. She travelled very well into the race and actually just didn't get home eventually. Very soft turf. I think when people see her train on the track in the mornings next week, she hardly picks her feet up off the ground, and she faded this day. But the time before on faster ground at Haydock, she was pretty good and arguably an unlucky loser. So. Yeah, she's got a great mind, very relaxed filly, has travelled to France before, and we took her away for a track gallop the other morning, and she's a filly who used to sort of kick the box on the way to races. She's so calm now. She's never been on a plane before, so that's obviously something different. But I couldn't be happy with how she's been training at the moment.
And that is great. She hasn't raced for a while, so what do you do between leaving and arriving in Hong Kong with her?
Yeah, she's done plenty of work. She's certainly fit. As I said, I took her away to Chelmsford, local track to us, just sort of 40 minutes down the road, and she had a good blow there. But well, I say she had a good blow. She did a strong bit of work and didn't really have much of a blow afterwards. So her rider was very happy with her, and she'll work again tomorrow morning. We'll put her on the box and take her away, and that'll just hopefully put her spot on. Yeah, I won't be worried about her fitness. She's ready to go first up.
You come here without Lucky Sweynesse, so that was a bonus. Back to his best last time. California Spangle's in great form. It is a race where the Hong Kong horses are always hard to beat.
Yeah, I'm not underestimating quite how hard a task it is that we're taking on, but the race is slightly, I wouldn't say fallen apart, but obviously Lucky Sweynesse, unfortunately, getting injured after his win the other weekend slightly changes the complexion of the race. Pace is a thing that she loves. She likes a strong pace to run at, and California Spangle, obviously back to 1200 for the first time in a while, showed loads of pace the other day, and I can't imagine that they won't be going forward with him. And yeah, draw's going to be important, but she's very good from the barriers now, and I'm looking forward to tracking that strong pace.
So you'd like to sit as close as possible with doing as least work as possible. Who's going to ride her when she arrives here?
Harry Bentley's booked to ride. He's a local jockey now, but one who I've known for a long time, and it's a difficult time of the year for one of our jockeys to come out. So delighted to have Harry on board, and he's obviously never ridden the horse before, but I'm sure he'll be well acquainted to him, as soon as he gets out there. Probably try and get him to sit on him Thursday morning or something before the race.
On yourself, George, your background in racing, and what's it going to mean to you to have a run and out racing in one of the biggest race days in the world, especially in this part of the world, that's for sure.
Yeah, look, it's international travel has been something that we've been really keen to do for some time now. So look, I'm absolutely thrilled to have a horse running in Hong Kong, and yeah, we've had winners in Dubai, Bahrain, France, Ireland, and England, and Hong Kong's next on the list. I'm not sure we're coming here expecting to win, but it'd be great just to try and pick up some of the prize money. It's certainly a lot better than what we're racing for back home at the moment.
Absolutely, there is plenty of cash on offer. George, we really appreciate your time here on Racing to Win, and we'll see you in the next couple of weeks with Believing, doing hopefully the UK proud in the Chairman's Sprint Prize.
Super, thanks so much.
And a big thanks once again to George. Looking forward to he and Believing arriving in Hong Kong very, very soon for FWD Champions Day. We need to move on though on Racing to Win to Sha Tin Sunday. 11 races, C course. First race gets underway at 12:30. The two races we focus on, races 8 and 11, Class 2 and the Class 3. The 8th over the 1200 metres has Bundle of Charm with the pacifiers off. Raging Blizzard, two-time course and distance winner. Lucky Encounter, no hood for him, and Supreme Lucky is a four-time course and distance winner. Just the 8 of them here, Tom, led up by Drumbeck Banner.
Yeah, well, he can certainly lead. He is 0 from 2, however, course and distance, but does have the pace on these. Raging Blizzard probably shouldn't be too far away, and then you've got Lucky Encounter, Supreme Lucky. Gorgeous win, a bit disappointing last time out. Nortula Bagil might be all the way at the back. He led up last time out over 1600, Paul.
Yeah, he did. So I think coming back to the 1200, he'll go back in this race.
Our first replay is Raging Blizzard winning at Happy Valley last time. Paul, he comes into Class 2 for the first time. Zac Purton rides for John Size.
He's had his last 4 starts at Happy Valley, but he comes back to Sha Tin, where he's a 2-time winner from his 4 starts. So a very versatile horse. I think he can sit outside the leader, as we saw on the speed map, and he looks tough to beat. I've got no fears him coming up into Class 2.
No, I think he's my idea of the winner of this race. The way he's going at the moment, 4 wins from his 8 starts. It was pretty decisive for the last time out. So with the weight, I can't see why someone else is going to beat him here.
And this is why Tom only enhances his chances in this race.
Yeah, and look, he's got that weight of 124 pounds. His trial coming into this was good as well. Andrea Atzini was aboard. He was at the back and wide, but still won that trial with plenty in hand.
Zac Purton, Paul, riding his 1700th Hong Kong winner at Happy Valley on Wednesday night, then made it 1701. Look at that prize money. That's longer number than Dialing International.
It is, isn't it? 2.1 billion odd there. So, yes, he's done very well.
just a little bit. 1700 ticked off. The task is now to try and run down Douglas White and become the record holder for the most wins as a jockey in Hong Kong. And Tom asked Zac how that target is going.
The mind's all right. The body's starting to let me down. It's a day-to-day proposition, really. Having to patch myself up between meetings to get back out there is, you know, quite tiring. But it is what it is. That's the life of a sportsman. It's a position I'm in. But yeah, I suppose now that I am where I am, everyone's favourite hobby now is reminding me of what I might need to do, and I suppose they'll be counting down. And if we get there, we get there. If my body doesn't allow me to, well, so be it. But I've had a good run of things here with a lot of success, and hopefully I've got a few more winners left in me.
I'm not after the exclusive, but is that a yes?
Yeah, well, we'll just take it week by week, really. That's where my body's at. But yeah, we'll come back next season if the club will have me. They haven't released the licences yet, but hopefully I can, and we'll just see how far we get.
If he's not here next season, re-licensed, Tom, we can do the show nude next season. That's how confident things are.
There we go.
Can he add to the 1700 wins before this goes even more down south?
He certainly can. Look at the rides he's got at the weekend. La Forza in the Griffin race. Good View Glory for Redentorship. He was better last time out. Not totally convinced by Young Horizon in this grade. Our last start to Winner Stellar Express. Yes, Kaying Warrior. It's a matter of do you trust him or not. Kaying Warrior, lucky touch. Raging Blizzard, I think top scorer can win. He's picked up Sunstrider too, Paul.
Yeah, he was really good on his last start as well. So he's going to be in for a pearler of a afternoon, I think.
He is indeed. Bundle of Charm, Paul, is one of the horses that will be trying to beat Raging Blizzard. This is on the all-weather last time, of course, but he does love the 1200 metres around Sha Tin turf.
Yeah, very versatile horse, this one. You could see he had the race run to suit with Pinghai Galaxy really setting it up in front, but he did what he had to do and came over the top and won really nicely. He's got to give weight away to some really nice horses in this race. That's what just put me off a bit.
Yeah, he'd just been stuck in the 70s for so long in terms of a rating. He'd sort of been up and down yo-yoing around 70 to sort of 77, but he's off a career high mark now and he's racing really well.
He is, as we move on to a Big Yield, Tom. Now, we know recently all of his racing has been over further. He has won over the 1200 metres, though. He
has course and distance here at Sha Tin. He's had a little freshen up since that run here back on the 25th of February in a small field in which was won by Super Sunny Singh. 3 wide in a recent barrier trial, no real pressure. I thought he pretty much had every chance here, Paul.
He did, look, he was right on it. You could throw a nappy over them. They're right across the track here, these horses. Yeah, he did win that 1200 metre race. That was back on New Year's Day 2023 as a 4-year-old. Just as he gets older, he just looks a bit more doer.
OK, that is Big Yield and Lucky Encounter running third, Supreme Lucky fourth. Do either of these two or both of them make it in for you, Paul?
Both. I think they're both good chances. Lucky Encounter should get the perfect run just in behind. Now, Supreme Lucky, again, he can be a little bit untrustworthy at the start, but in the smaller field from barrier number 1, I think he'll get his opportunity. His win was off 77. He's up to an 82 rating, but has run 4th off this rating in the past. So he goes on in the minor line. This was the 4th.
Yeah, they tried Lucky Encounter over the 1400 metres last time out. I'm not totally convinced he's a 1400 metre horse. He's much better here, course and distance. Flaming Rabbit came out of that race and won too.
He did indeed. So that's a breakdown of runners in race number 8, Paul. We know they're in, but who's in the top 4?
The informed Raging Blizzard, he goes on top for me. I think he can win. To beat the 6, Lucky Encounter. Gorgeous win will give him another chance in Supreme Lucky. 4, 6, 8, 7.
For Raging Blizzard, I think the one to beat here, stepping up in grade 2 with class 2 for Zac Purton and John Seisel. Tulla Gillen for a second. Gorgeous win. Things didn't go right for him last time out. A little bit disappointing, really, but may have not been totally suited by a little bit of moisture around that day. And Bundle of Charmin as well. 4, 2, 8 and 1.
It's been a busy racing to win so far, but don't go away. There's plenty more to follow after this break. Welcome back to Racing to Win. It is time for, yes, the last run reminder, Paul. And there it is, Lucky Symphony, race 6, number 9 for you this week. Why have you picked this one?
Huge run, a huge run to start with from Lucky Symphony, well back. And they didn't go overly quick as well in this particular race. You can see he's still back last. He's starting to thread his way through now. And he almost won it. He's beaten a very short margin by Bowser, who does re-oppose. But look, he came from well back behind him, had to go to the outside, gone to the clear. Now, Prosecco's come out of this race and won since. So it's a pretty good form race, which he's come out of. And you can see just failing to get up there. So I think he can win.
There you go, race 6, number 9, Lucky Symphony, Paul's last run reminder for this week. The last race on Sunday looks this way. It is a Class 3 over the 1,600 metres. Friend Tank extra £6 for his last start win. Flagship Warriors placed his last 2. Summit Impact has the tongue tie off. Star Contact has placed 2 from 4 course and distance. Loyal Bobo aiming for the hat-trick as he comes up in grade. Bright Inheritance has the blinkers on. Powerful Wings has had 2 trials since his last start. The blinkers off. Winning Data ran 4th at his first go. In Class 3, Tomedy draws beautifully in 1. Looking at that speed map, is going to get a great trip to Winning Data.
He should do. He should get a pretty much a similar run to what he got last time out, but it was probably, I thought, a shade disappointing not to go on with it, considering the run he had. Loyal Bobo, can he get across, Paul, with Friend Tank from barrier 14?
Yeah, I think he can. They're the 2 leaders in the race. Holy Lake likes to go forward but doesn't like to lead, so I think the 2 will come across together.
Stick with the chat about Winning Data right now. Tom was out at Sha Tin earlier on Friday morning to talk to his rider, Sha Tin.
Winning Data going around in the last race. He stepped up into Class 3 last time out, ran 4th. Overall, what did you make of the performance considering the run he had in transit?
Yeah, it was a good run considering what type of run he had, and I thought he travelled a bit hard with me throughout the race. He sort of saw the leader and he tried to chase him the whole time. So I thought if he switched off a little bit more, he could have finished off better. But it was his first run after like a month off or something. He had a trial in between, but I think he's come on from that run. I worked him this morning. That draw is going to be a massive play.
The track was still rated good that day, but there was the odd shower of rain, and there were a few horses noted that day to sort of not maybe handle the little bit of rain that we did have. He didn't fall into that category.
Yeah, that did also too. I think it was late on. I think he was the last race or second last race we rode him. I think the track was a bit cut up in the inside. I was caught on the inside too. So I think the winner was in front of me anyway. But I do believe that he did not handle the track really well too. I think it was in his first campaign in Hong Kong where he had a run in a sort of softish track where he did not go well. So considering all that, I thought it was still a great run. He's an up-and-coming horse. He's done well this season. Find his form again with a good draw. I think it's going to be really competitive.
With that good draw in the lightweight, you'd expect him to get a similar sort of run to what he got last start?
Yeah, 100%. He's got some natural speed where he gets himself into a perfect position all the time. But I felt this morning the horse is really switched off. So if he comes to races this way, he's going to be competitive.
He sounds confident, does Karis, Paul. He's always been a horse that you've liked Winning Data. You happy to stick with him after that okay run last time?
Yeah, look, as Karis said, he's come on. He had that month between runs. So he's going to get a perfect run. There'll be no excuses in this race. I've got 1 to beat him, but I think he'll run well.
Yeah, just looked a little one-paced, and as you heard there from Karis, maybe just that little bit of moisture around wasn't totally ideal for him.
We move on, Tom, to Friend Tank, who had been backed and backed time and time again, and he hadn't been able to quite deliver for punters. He's now won 2 of his last 3, does have barrier 14, gets the claim, and that's Holy Lake in the red jacket being hard ridden outside of him, but he does stick on.
Yeah, he's just been in really good form recently, his Friend Tank. He's finally delivering, but I think he's going to find it a lot tougher this time round, Paul, with barrier 14, 2 weeks on from his last win, another further £6 to carry here. He really did kick strongly in that win last time out, but it's another step up here.
Yeah, it is, and he's got Loyal Bobo in the race who can set up some pretty strong sectionals, so I don't think he's going to get his own way.
Which leads us in, Paul, to Loyal Bobo. He's been really good at his last 2 starts. Harder this week because he comes up in grade. He's got a whitish draw, down in weight, but he can't have done any more than this and the one before.
Yeah, he couldn't get across to the roll, did he? And he still stayed on nicely. Now, he has got a bit of a staying pedigree, so the 1600 shouldn't be a problem for him. He sets up, he's got a really high cruising speed, this horse. He's only rated 65. I think he's got rating points in hand, this horse, so I think he can win, and hopefully we'll get a better price than the $1.50 we got last time.
Yeah, it was a good price, wasn't it? $1.50 in the end. Beat home Ariel, so does have to step up here again, but with a lighter weight, he's got to be a major player for sure.
And our final replay, Tom, is Sunstrider, who is fourth there, turning for home. This race was over 1,400 metres. He draws kindly again. Strongfield 2, Patch of Thit has been racing well. Aero Invincible had 2, but he was disappointing in this race. And Sunstrider, the further they go, the better he looked.
Yeah, so it's his first time beyond 1,400 metres in his career now with Sunstrider. This is the horse I'm going to side with here to beat Loyal Bobo. Up the inside, driven through late. I think the step up will really suit him this time round, Paul.
Yeah, definitely. I made him the long shot last start, and fortunately ran fourth. Blake Shin was about it. Look, I think the losing of the race for him was he was slightly slow away from an inside draw, so he was a little bit further back than I thought he'd be, but he finished off really nicely in a strong race. I agree with Tom, he's one of the main chances.
Absolutely. Green and White also amongst the finish. There's been in former Magnificent 9 has raced consistently too, Paul, but you're all over Loyal Bobo.
Yeah, look, I just think this horse has got plenty of rating points in hand, and he can win again. So he's on top, winning Data, Sunstrider, and then Talent's Ambition, a horse who looks like he's going to be winning a race pretty shortly. 8, 13, 9 and 14.
Yeah, I'll side with the 9 here, Sunstrider, who is stepping up in trip here to the 1,600 metres. Zac Purton going on board here for David Hall. He's chased home 2 quality gallopers in his 2 runs so far, Young Champion and Patch of Theta, who are coming up nicely through the grades at the moment. This 4-year-old by Highland Real Sunstrider. Loyal Bobo just has to carry the 124 pounds up in grade this time round. He did pull up with some post-race mild distress this issue last time out, did Loyal Bobo, so a little watch there. Flagship Warrior couldn't have been given a better ride by Alice Wong, really, considering he had a terrible wide barrier draw and he lost the whip as well, so was pretty good in defeat there, and winning Data in for 4th. 9, 8, 2 and 13.
And a reminder that all races are previewed on the website, hkjc.com. Click on audio and video for race-by-race analysis. We are near the end of the show, Paul, and we're going to continue the Loyal Bobo theme here.
Yeah, I think he can win again, and he'll get a lot better price than he was last time. So we'll stick with Loyal Bobo. We just saw that replay, so you know what he can do, this particular horse, and I've got no fears of him coming up in grade. So he's the best. We'll make the long shot the race before, which is My Flying Angel. Cheek pieces on, up and trip for him, and he's looked good in both his 2 starts, finished off strongly. The 1400 looks ideal for him. And we'll do the play earlier on the card, but down the sprint, Run Cool, the last run reminder, Lucky Symphony, and Universal Blaze, who should be at a bit of a price. QQP 1910.
Best for me comes up in the 9th. It is horse number 3, Top Scorer, who has been freshened since this last start effort for 3rd. He's had 70 days between runs, but was really making some strong ground from back in the field. Was beaten here at 4.2. He's been beaten favourite in his first 2 runs prior to this as well. That is him in the red with the pink sleeves down the outside, running 3rd there. And the value is Super Charizard coming to Sha Tin for the first time. A couple of luckless runs at Happy Valley today. He is drawn wide. He'll be no doubt back, but hopefully running on for an informed Brenton Abdullah and Mark Newton, and we'll put him in the play with Lucky Touch and also Super Highway, who's drawn nice and low.
Best bet comes up, race 10, number 1, Amazing Victory. You know what you'll get. He'll give an honest performance. He's got a good draw, barrier number 2, carries a couple of less pounds than what he's used to, with 133 on his back. Hugh Bowman rides him for Chris So. The long shot, race 5, number 11, Lucky Quality in an open race, £5 claim for Alfie Chan. He's won 5 races, has Lucky Quality. And the play, Amazing Victory, Karma and Aero Invincible in race number 10 in a QQP numbers 1, 4 and 13. Looking ahead to what is ahead as far as racing goes here in Hong Kong. We're back to Happy Valley on Wednesday night, trackside live from 6:10 for a 9-race program. and the first at 6:40. Then a Saturday program and normal transmission. 1 o'clock start time at Trackside Live from 12:30. But a busy day coming up, Tom, and the future kicks us off because the Griffins step out for the first time.
Yeah, lots of first starters coming up through the course of the program, Mark. A couple of raced horses scattered throughout, but most of them, Paul, all PPGs.
They look that way, yeah, they are PPGs. So 19 of them we said, didn't we, at the start? So, yeah, they're always intriguing, and then some of them pop up and surprise you.
They do indeed. We'll find out who might do that on Sunday when we'll be racing to win with the first of 12, first of 11 at 12:30.